So I defined what is stress. Okay, and in stress, what I said, when we apply a force, there is a change in there will be change in dimensions, and so stress is defined. What I said, when we are applying this force, there will be change in dimension. Okay, and this force applied is called applied force. From the name itself, this force is called applied force. Okay, and once I remove this applied force, the body will try to come back to the original position. Okay, and so there is a restoring force. We have already finished a simple harmonic motion, so there is a restoring force which is acting on the body, and so this restoring force is equal to the applied force. Okay, is equal to the applied force, and so we define stress as applied force per unit area. Stress is defined as applied force per unit area. Okay, so what is the unit for stress? So what is the unit for stress? What is the unit for
Newton.
force?
Newton meter.
Newton meter.
Newton square
Unit for meter square. Okay, Newton meter square. Right. Now again we have to see strain. Okay. So students who are joining late now, here I am having power issues. So if the link disturbs, I may take 1 minute to come back. Okay, right. And you have seen in your assignment, no, 2 o'clock I have given a small quiz. I have given 10 minutes time, even though you hardly need 2-3 minutes. And then after 2:10 you will come back again. Okay. Yeah. So what are the questions I'm teaching here is coming for the quiz. So change. So what is strain? So whenever we apply force, there is change in dimension. It may be in length, it may be in area, it may be in volume. Okay, or it may be in the angle also. So strain is defined as change in dimension to the original dimension. Change in dimension to original dimension. Okay, and this also we saw. And so what is the unit for strain? You said strain has
no unit.
It has unitless. It is unitless. Okay, and then what we said according to Hooke's law. So when we know now what is stress, we know what is strain. So if it is change in length to the original length, change in volume to original volume, so it has no unit. Okay, now Hooke's law states that stress is proportional to strain. Stress is proportional to strain within the elastic limit. Or stress by strain is a constant. Okay, and this constant is called elastic constant, or it is called modulus of elasticity. This constant is called modulus of elasticity. Okay, so you understood what is modulus of elasticity. So in this chapter, there are 3 modulus we are going to see. Definition of Young's modulus, bulk modulus and rigidity modulus. Right now we are going to see that. Right. Okay, so if you want me to enlarge, I'll enlarge that. Right. So first one, Young's modulus. Okay, Young's modulus. Right. Normally the symbol used is capital Y. Okay. Now I have taken a wire. Now can you tell me normally Young's modulus is used where?
Change in length.
Yeah, change which dimension will change in Young's modulus?
Length.
Yeah. Length will change or volume will change? Okay, so I should start calling in the attendance. CV001 Abhishek DS.
Present, ma'am.
Present. Abhishek, in Young's modulus, what will change? Length will change, volume will change, or angle will change?
Length, ma'am.
Length will change. Okay, right. So I have taken a wire. Okay, it is fixed at one end, and let L be the length of the wire. The length of the wire is L. Okay, so up to this the length is L. What we do, I apply a force. Downwards, and so what will happen to the length of the wire? The length of the wire may increase. Okay, it may decrease also. Here it is increasing by a length X. It is extended by a length L. Okay, F is the force acting, and let A be the area of cross section of the wire. Area of cross section of the wire. Okay, now let us define. So here the change is in length. Okay, here the change is in length. So first you tell me what is linear stress here? Linear stress. What is the linear stress here? We know that stress is defined as force per unit area. So here also linear stress means how I'll define it is what we'll say, it is a longitudinal force. Yeah, what we'll say, it is a force acting per unit area. Force acting per unit area. So what is the expression I'll write? Force per unit area. Okay, force per unit area, and this force is acting along the length of the wire. So longitudinal force acting along the length of the wire. Okay, so let us define this. Linear stress is also called longitudinal stress. Now let us see what is strain. So what is this? We'll call this as linear strain because length is changing. So linear strain is defined as what? Linear strain is defined as change in length. Okay, a change in length to the original length. Change in length to the original length. So now tell me the symbols to be used. What is the length change? What is the change in length? The original length was L. The change in length is X. Okay, so X by change in length by original length L. So this is linear strain, isn't it? Yeah. So now what is Young's modulus? Young's modulus is defined as linear stress by linear strain. Okay, now you know that a modulus of elasticity is stress by strain, but for Young's modulus length is changing, so it is defined as linear stress by linear strain. Now let us substitute. I have the symbol Y. Y is equal to linear stress is what I'll write? I'll write F by A. Okay, and linear strain is what? Change in length to original length. So Newton per meter square. This is Young's modulus. Okay, Young's modulus is defined as a linear longitudinal stress or linear stress by linear strain. So just write the value of stress, write the value of strain. Is it okay? So in Young's modulus, the dimension which changes is length of the wire. Any doubt here? Shall I go for the next modulus? Next modulus is bulk modulus. Okay, and the symbol is K. In bulk modulus, what will change? Students, in bulk modulus, what will change?
Volume.
Volume will change. Okay, yeah. So what I do, I take a sphere. I have taken a sphere. Its volume is, let us say its volume is V. Okay, and this was the original position. So let this be V, this be small v. Okay. Now what has happened? We will apply pressure or force normally in all the directions. Force is applied uniformly and normally in all the directions of the sphere. Okay, this is the sphere, and the original length of, what was the original volume of the sphere? The original volume is capital V, and because of the compression, okay, I can expand also or I can compress also, but the volume has to change. Okay, so here it is compressive stress. So this is compressive stress is acting. So let us now define. Where has my marker gone? Okay, compressive stress. Okay, compressive stress. Compressive stress is defined as force per unit area Okay, force per unit area acting on the body. Acting on the body, okay, and or it is a pressure. Force per unit area is nothing but pressure. It is a pressure acting normally on the body, uniformly and normally on the body, is called compressive stress. Because pressure is also called force per unit area, the definitions remain same. Okay, yeah. Now then what is this compressive strain? Compressive strain is defined as change in volume, is defined as change in volume to original volume, okay, yeah. Now Bharat BN CV003, tell me the substitute values. Bharat BN CV003, are you there? Chetan M always has problems. Chetan M, are you there? Chetan M. Dhruva Seshu is there? Dhruva Seshu?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. Dhruva Seshu, tell me the formula substitution. I said bulk modulus is dealing with the change in volume. Okay. So I wrote compressive stress force per unit area, right? Now what I should write here? What is the change in volume?
F is equal to P by A.
What is it?
No,
strain is defined as change in volume to original volume. Okay. The volume has reduced to small v. So what will come? Small v. What was the original volume? Capital V.
Capital V.
Yeah. Okay. Right.
Yes.
So bulk modulus. Okay, students, don't worry. Every class I'm not going to give you quiz. Okay, weekly twice only I'll give. Today I've given, so I'll give on Friday or Saturday if it is working. Okay, so bulk modulus is defined as stress by strain. No? So F by A, force per unit area, by change in volume to original volume. So I can write this as F by A, small v by capital V, same unit, Newton per meter square. All the modulus have the same unit. So Newton per meter square. Shall I proceed? Can I proceed, Dhruva Seshu? CV005 have stopped. Did you understand this much? Dhruva Seshu has to respond. Civil, many people are not regular. Dhruva Seshu?
Yes, ma'am.
Can I go for the next topic?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. So we have seen Young's modulus. We have seen bulk modulus. Now, can you guess what will be the last one? The third modulus, what it is? I should ask Harini. Yeah, someone else is answering. Yeah, tell me. Rigidity modulus. Yeah, who answered?
Gurumurthy, ma'am.
Gurumurthy. Yeah, Gurumurthy, I was calling you yesterday, ME005. Yeah, so today you are there. Okay. Now last one is rigidity modulus. Okay, rigidity modulus. Rigidity modulus. The symbol is eta. Okay. Now in rigidity modulus, what happens? I have to draw one cube. Okay, I draw one cube. Right. Okay. Now I apply a force here. I apply a force here from this direction. I apply a force, and this lower end is fixed. The lower end is fixed. Okay. And to the upper end only we are applying a force. Because of this, what will happen? The body will get tilted. The body gets tilted. Right. The body gets tilted. So let us see that how it is getting tilted. Yeah. Now the body gets tilted. No. So each layer is getting tilted, and so this cube is getting displaced. This cube is getting this position. Then what happens? This will come to this position, and that's why I have changed the color of the pen. Right. So it will come like this, and this gets tilted. Let me draw it little better. Okay, the cube is getting tilted. You saw that. Okay, because of the force which is applied, because of the force which is applied. So this is the way the cube got tilted, and so this angle is theta. Let L be the length of the cube. Okay, and so now can you guess, we are saying the body has got sheared. We use the word sheared. Okay, shearing means got tilted, the body has turned. Sheared means body has turned, body is turning. So rigidity modulus is used in places where the body is getting twisted, like torsional pendulum. Okay, that is what I'll do. If I have a rigid body here like a stone, I give a twist like this. Okay, it is fixed here. If I give it a twist and leave it, this is going to be sheared. The body is twisted through an angle. Okay, yeah. So rigidity modulus is defined as, shearing stress by shearing strain, so shearing means the body is turned through some angle, right? So stress is same. Stress means force acting per unit area, and shearing strain means that the change it has undergone, it is theta. Okay, theta is called shearing angle. And now let this distance through which it is moved is be x. Then what is theta? Tell me. If theta is the angle through which the body got sheared, theta is equal to, it is a very small angle, right? So what I can write theta, for theta what I can write? Students, for theta what I can write? If I enlarge you that picture alone, okay, if I enlarge you, this is theta, this is x, this is L, okay, theta is very small, so theta is equal to what? Normally for small angles, we'll take tan theta. So theta is equal to what? X by L. What is that? Tan theta. So x by L. Correct? No? Opposite side by adjacent side, because this is a right angle. So what I'll write here? Rigidity modulus is defined as F by A by X by what is that? X by L, or it is same. It is what? A X by L. Newton per meter square. So rigidity modulus is defined as shearing stress by shearing strain. In this modulus, in Young's modulus, length changed, in bulk modulus, volume changed, and in rigidity modulus, the body gets turned through an angle. Okay, it is getting turned through an angle, right? So now what we saw the three definitions of bulk modulus. We saw the three definition of bulk modulus, and so now let us see stress by strain diagram. Okay, so this diagram is going to let us take a wire. This topic is stress strain diagram. Stress strain diagram of Hooke's law. Stress strain diagram for Hooke's law. Quite simple. I take a wire. Okay, it's a 6-mark question. I take a wire and I keep pulling the wire. I'm applying force. I keep pulling the wire, and what will happen to the wire? It's a quite flexible wire. What happens to that wire? Okay, now see here. So this is a strain. This is stress, force applied, and you will see that. For example, I take a rubber band. I have taken a rubber band. Simple example. I keep pulling. I leave it. I keep pulling. I leave it. Okay. After some time, I keep applying force. What will happen to the rubber band? It will, even after the force is removed, you have seen, no, it becomes big, it becomes thin, it becomes less strength, isn't it? If we keep pulling the rubber band, after even I remove the force, it has become big, like balloon also. It has become big. It has become soft. Okay. And it is less strength. It is not like the balloon which we had brought newly, right? Okay, same thing. So what happens? As I increase the stress on the body, what happens? I leave it. I increase the force, I leave it. So at this point, can you see this point A? Up to this point, what will happen? The body shape will remain the same. That means stress is proportional to strain. Stress is proportional to strain. That means if I remove the force, the body will come back to the same position. The size of the body, the line is indicating the size of the body. The size of the body will remain the shape of the body also will remain the same. Okay, so A is called proportional limit. Can you see this? A is called proportionality limit. That means stress is proportional to strain and Hooke's law is applicable. Hooke's law is applicable. Okay. Now what I do? Again I increase. I increase the force. Again what happens? The body is coming back to the same shape. Okay. The body is coming back to the same shape. That means it is following elasticity. It is obeying elasticity. But stress is not proportional to strain. Okay. Up to point B, Hooke's law is applicable, but stress is not proportional to strain. That means the body will come back to the same shape, but not proportional. It is called elastic limit. This is another important term. It is called elastic limit. Okay, so OA is called, in OA the full elastic behavior takes place. Right. So A is called proportional limit because stress is proportional to strain. B is called yield point or elastic limit. After this, the body is not going to remain elastic. It is going to become plastic. Okay. So B is the yield point, ending point of the elasticity of the material. Again, I keep increasing the force. What will happen? From B to E, the material has become plastic. This is plastic behavior. From where to where? From B to C, the particle becomes plastic. That means it has lost its elastic nature. Okay. So you understood up to this. A is the proportionality limit. B is the elastic limit or the yield point. After that, in this, even I remove the force, the body have the same shape. Okay. Now after B, if I take a point C in the plastic region, and if I remove the force and leave the body shape has changed. The body, can you see this? The body will not have the original shape. It will have different shape. And so there is a permanent deformation. That has taken place anywhere here, anywhere in this plastic region. The body shape has changed. So this is called permanent set. That means the body has changed permanently. Okay, and then this from C to E is the plastic region. In this region there is a peak. There's a peak D. It is called ultimate strength. Okay, that means after this the body loses its strength. And can you, from the name itself, fracture point, can you guess what is fracture point? From the name itself, students, what will happen when you get fractured? What happens to your bones? Fracture.
Break, ma'am.
Fracture means bone has broken. Here what will happen at point E? Fracture point, the wire will break, the body will break. Okay, so E is the fracture point. And let me check the time. Yeah, and from C to D, the body hardens. Okay, it is called strain hardening. The body becomes hard. So this is called strain hardening. We are going to see the reason why. And from D to E, the body becomes soft. So it is called strain softening. You have seen, sometimes in this case, if I apply less force is applied, the body will become more big. If I apply less force, it will become like that. It's the other way. We apply more force, it will remain same because it has lost all its property. Okay, so this is called stress strain diagram using Hooke's law. So what are the points? This diagram you'll be drawing when you have the in the exam. And so you say OA is the proportionality limit. Okay, here the full elastic nature is there, and the particle behaves Hooke's law, obeys the Hooke's law. B is the yield point or the elastic limit. After that, the particle is going to become plastic. And from here to here is I get a curve. In the curve, you should draw one peak also, because the peak is showing me from here to here, it is strain hardening. Okay, the particle will become hard. and from here to here the particle will become soft. So strain softening, this is called ultimate region. The peak point in the plastic region is called ultimate region, where after this the body is going to ultimate strength. After this the particle, up to here the particle was in single way, after this it is going to break. This fracture point is also called breaking stress. It is also called breaking stress. Stress required to break the material. Stress required to break the material. Okay, students, now you can go to the assignment and wait for answering the questions. I am online. Any problem? You can ask me. Time is 2 o'clock. Open your quiz.
Ma'am, it's 5 questions, no, ma'am?
10 questions, no? That is old one. It will not open. Today's it has been sent today at 12:30 something, you said?
Yes, ma'am, it's only 5 questions.
No. Is it opening?
Yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
ma'am.
I gave 10 questions, no? Where the remaining 5 disappeared? Anyone can tell? What about others? Check. I gave 10 questions.
Ma'am, only 5 question, ma'am.
Only 5. It didn't get saved? That's too bad. Okay,
Only 5,
answer
ma'am.
it. Is it opening also? Over? All got only 5 questions. Anyone who got 10 questions? Check, one more assignment will be there. Today's.
No, ma'am, there's only
Ma'am,
one.
Only 5?
Yes,
What
ma'am.
happened? Only 5?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so 5 questions disappeared. I have to check what happened. Right. So I think 5 questions you hardly needed 2-3 minutes. If you're finished, you can come back. Yes, submitted. Anyone wants me to wait? Because no, it was meant for 10 minutes. 10 minutes, yeah. Only 5 questions you could have finished. It was all quite simple. So what is the first question? No, let the others answer. You have time till 10, no? Yes, you can come back. Anyone wants me to wait? So I think up to 210 no one will respond. Is it over? You submitted? So 2-5, I think I can continue. So this we have seen. Anyone wants me to wait? You have to tell. Okay, so we saw that. Yeah. So just they have removed many things and just showing in this slide. Are you there? You finished?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So this same diagram where we have removed the most of the things, you can see that in any figure, no? In any figure, we have a yield strength. This is the proportionality limit, and Hooke's law will be here. And ultimate strength means what? In the peak of the curve is called ultimate strength. After that, up to this only the material will be able to behave normally. So this is strain hardening. This is, they have written necking, but this we can call as strain softening. Okay. Right. So this topic we have to see. After that, now let us see, after this Hooke's law, let us see what are the factors that affect elasticity. Okay, what are the things that will help to increase the elasticity or decrease the elasticity. In that case, if you see, the temperature affects the elasticity of the material, the impurities which are present can affect the elasticity, and annealing. We are going to see, for us only these three are enough: temperature, impurities, and annealing, how they affect. Okay, now if you talk about impurities, the elasticity may increase or decrease based on the nature of the impurity. Okay, so if the impurities, right, now if the impurities are trying to block the movement of ions, if the impurities are blocking the movement of ions, what will happen? Elasticity will increase. Elasticity will increases. Okay, if they are allowing the movement of the ions, then it will reduce the elasticity. Ions will keep moving, no, it will not try to come back, so elasticity will decrease. So based on the nature of impurities, the elasticity may increase or decrease. Right, now what will happen to this stress? Let us see. Okay, effect of stress. Stress, what will happen? Now for example, I have a cupboard, I have a metal cupboard. Okay, and it is a metal cupboard. In this I keep a heavy weight like a suitcase. A heavy stress is applied, it is kept for a long time. Okay, we are seeing the effect of stress in a cupboard. Okay, if this is a cupboard, in this cupboard we have kept a heavy load, heavy weight of suitcase or something for a long time, for several years, let us say, and then you remove it out. What will happen here? What will happen to the cupboard? It must have undergone a small deformation, isn't it? It will undergo a small deformation. This is called, okay, this is called creeping. Creeping is a deformation a material undergoes due to the constant stress applied on it. Creeping is a deformation a body undergoes due to the constant stress acting on it. Example I gave you is cupboard. Okay, in some other cases, temperature also, the temperature will also be high. Okay, temperature will also be high. Then what happens? The body is going to undergo deformation, and so the elasticity due to this stress, continuous stress, elasticity decreases. Right. Now jet planes, jet engines, boilers are there, no? Which are made up of metals. These are all made up of metals, and they are subjected to high temperature. In that cases, creeping may happen. Okay, in that cases, when they are subjected to high temperature, creeping takes place. So what is creeping? Creeping is the deformation the body is undergoing due to stress, continuous stress acting at some high temperature. Okay, so the stress, so what we'll say in general now, stress decreases the elasticity of the material. Stress will decrease the elasticity of the material. Temperature also decreases the elasticity of the material. Right. Now you have heard about the word annealing. What is annealing? What is annealing? Heat treatment. Annealing is heat treatment given to materials to change the physical or mechanical property. Annealing is heat treatment given to materials to change their properties. Give me one example. CV008, Manish Kumar, can you give me one example of annealing? Annealing? Not there? Yeah, CV010. Mokshina Gyan Teja? Yeah.
Manish.
Who is this? Manish Kumar. Manish, how many questions you answered? Manish, how many questions you answered? Huh?
5 questions.
What is the
5
score?
questions. 3,
Score? Score?
3, ma'am.
3.
Yeah.
Okay. So what I'm telling, annealing. So tell me materials which are heated and then cooled so that their property changes. Very good example is, okay, glass. Okay, glass, we heat it, it becomes a liquid form, then we cool it. By that annealing, annealing can change the properties of the material. So annealing will increase the elasticity. This is the only factor which is going to increase the elasticity of the material. Okay, so stress will decrease the elasticity, temperature will decrease, impurities may or may not. Okay, annealing will increases the elasticity and ductility of the material. Can anyone tell me what is this ductility? We say no, the metal is brittle, the metal is ductile. What does brittle means? Easily breaking. Ductility means?
Drawn into thin wires.
Yeah, very good. Ductility means it can be easily drawn into thin wires. Okay, in this diagram also, in this diagram also, if you see, what will happen now? If the wire is ductile, this portion will be more. It will take a long time. This portion will be more. If it is brittle, no, from yield point to fracture point, it will be very less. It will break because it is brittle. It will not have larger area. Okay, so that is that. So with this we finished the so in the elasticity, what are the things we have finished? We have seen what is stress, what is strain, what is Hooke's law. 3 definitions define the 3 modulus of elasticity. Hooke's diagram, stress by strain, we have finished. Okay, and